My name's Aaron Tyler. I'm an art director in advertising. I work at an advertising agency in South Melbourne called Fenton Stevens, and we create multi-level campaigns for various clients. I guess there's two sides to being an art director. There's the concept, creative side, and the sort of execution side after the concept's got up. My role then becomes executing that idea, whether that's hiring an illustrator or talking to directors. Once that sort of side of the production's done, getting into layout or working with editors to cut the videos, and then getting it out there. I think to be a good art director, obviously a good starting point would be to be creative. That can mean a lot of different things. And I think creativity comes from being just genuinely intrigued in certain stuff. Like I know I find myself, just being genuinely interested in all different kinds of things. Almost a generalist, and I draw different ideas from all different places. In terms of like execution, I guess you have to have a good eye and be genuinely interested in different sort of techniques and approaches, and keeping an open mind about how they could play out in the work that you do. I found being good at drawings helped me out a lot, because most people sort of don't have a solid drawing foundation. And when it comes to like articulating an idea, that's in your head, it's hard if you don't have that sort of skill. Yeah. So after finishing high school, I got into Swinburne Communication Design. Enjoyed uni, but I sort of had a bit of a rocky time. Sort of got glandular fever at one point, which threw me off for like a year. Learned a lot of stuff, but towards the end I kind of didn't know what I exactly wanted to do. I got put onto a course called Award School, which is like a 10-week grueling advertising course, which also had another sort of, you had to apply to get in and do a couple of briefs. Got accepted into that, wrote my first couple of ads in that course, and from there got a job off the back of that. Working in advertising, it's pretty sort of fast-paced, and there's things coming at you, left, right, and centre, which can be pretty stressful sometimes. But at the same time, every day is like a new thing. Like you're never working on something longer than a month, and once that's done, you're on to the next project. It's an interesting industry. I think it's I try and take it as my responsibility to try and make that experience as pleasing as possible, and give the right people an interesting message from the brands that I'm working on. There's pitches going left to right and centre. Everyone's worried about losing work, and sometimes there's a lot of drama that you have to work through. But all in all, like I guess it's the people in the industry that makes it all worth it and quite interesting, and there's always something different going on, and that's what I like about it. I guess the internet's played a huge factor in fragmenting the advertising industry, in the sense that traditionally you'd have your print ad, you'd have your billboard, and you'd have your TV campaign, and you sorted the message we get out there. But people are watching Netflix instead of tuning into the 7 to 9 time slot. And even when they are watching TV, they've got their iPad and their iPhone in their hand, and they're not tuning in as much as they used to traditional advertising forms. The rise of social has been something that's I've seen in the short amount of time that I've worked in the industry. And I think brands are going to have to just be relentless in putting their message out there in a positive and engaging way that they're going to speak to the people they need to, and they can't just feed them any old message. They have to be accountable for the things that they say, and you know, have a bit of a purpose. It can be kind of difficult to get your foot in the door, but my advice to anyone that's wanting to do it is just keep going and keep trying to get your stuff in front of prospective agencies. Like, you hear these stories of guys that have, you know, try for a couple of months and then just give up, and that's just ridiculous, because no one's going to be hiring like the moment that you walk in and present your work. But if you build a bit of rapport and keep, you know, if you show some work, get some feedback, refine the work, show them again, because, you know, when a job position pops up, you're going to be on the top of the mind when, you know, they think, well, we need a junior creative team or a junior art director. Oh, what about that guy that keeps coming back and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I think that's just the, you know, I see it time and time again that people keep trying for like a week and then just sort of, you know, get another job and don't really keep going. And, you know, they've clearly got talent, but that only gets you so far. It's kind of how much you're willing to push to get in, and, you know, if you do that, you'll be rewarded. Like, you're only going to get better as you're refining your book, and yeah, I think that's the secret. Like, just show up, I guess. Well, social media is obviously pretty important, considering that most people have got a Facebook page. Most people are, you know, sharing their own stories, and it's something that wasn't around sort of 10 years ago. It's not being ignored, definitely. But at the same time, like, social media is a medium. I remember a pretty well-worn quote, you know, the medium is the message. And I think if your message is a great idea, social's a great way to spread that idea, particularly if you've got a limited media budget and, you know, you don't have, you know, you can make something great with just an iPhone these days, and people are a lot more forgiving of, you know, production budgets and stuff like that. And I think to be a good creative, you've got to think of social like a medium rather than you know, just something you have to do.